destiny.
Welcome back, apprentices and acolytes, to Lord Dagovere's breakdown of the Book of Boba Fett. And this episode was so good. I'm so excited. I'm probably not going to sleep at all, and I'm just going to continue watching it and give you this breakdown. So let's get into all the details, okay? Because there's a lot to go over. So right when we get into the episode, the first thing that we see, of course, is Fennec Shand delivering this assassin that she caught in the previous episode. Now, the interrogation doesn't really go as planned, so they have to resort to a certain scare tactic, and they want to show the Rancor. And the Rancor pit is empty, which I was actually so surprised about, because if you watch the animated series The Bad Batch, you find out that Jabba actually had another Rancor, and this was Muchi. Muchi was introduced inside the Bad Batch. It's what the Bad Batch rescued and then showed it off to Bib Fortuna. So the question really is where is that other Rancor? Because clearly it is not here, or perhaps it's somewhere else in another part of Jabba's establishment, or maybe they just haven't used it yet. Who knows, but I definitely want to know where Muchi is. Now this is probably some of my favorite parts of the episode, and we're introduced to more Hutts, and I believe they refer to them as the Twins. Now, the Hutt clan is incredible because they ultimately run the underground, and there's a lot of crime syndicates inside the Star Wars universe, but we'll get to that in a second. The Hutt clan is also referred to as Hutt families, and the sad thing is when Jabba died, you know, the Tatooine and also the Hutt clan just kind of entered this huge decline. So you can see this kind of power struggle right now that not only is Boba Fett going through, but also the mayor and several other characters inside this crime syndicate in Tatooine. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out through the rest of the series, because not only is the Hutts a part of this, and as you can see here, the Twins, but also the crime syndicate, which is referred to later in the episode. Now, with the introduction of the Twins, and you get to see the Hutts and their litter, you also get introduced to Black Chrysanthemum, and this is an incredible ode to the comics, and some of my favorite comics in Star Wars, which is the Dr. Aphra comics. Black Chrysanthemum is a beast, and Boba Fett actually knows Black Chrysanthemum. They've teamed up, and they've been around in the same comic, in the same page before, which is crazy to see them interact this way. But Black Chrysanthemum also has this huge rivalry with Chewbacca, and has also been in dealings with Dr. Aphra, and it's a weird friendship. I don't even know if you can call it a friendship. All the way introduced from the Dr. Aphra comics, man, this was such a beautiful interaction. Oh my god, I loved it so much. Black Chrysanthemum, a bounty hunter, and it's not like you get to see like these types of Wookiees all the time with that design. You know, you used to kind of like Chewbacca's design. Oh man, I just love it so much. Totally different from Tarful and Chewbacca. Black Chrysanthemum, everybody. Okay, so let's enter into the phase where Boba Fett starts getting his memories again, and this is where the episode actually gets so intriguing. Now, it seems like throughout The Mandalorian and throughout the Book of Boba Fett, we've been introduced to Tatooine, and not only just like the harsh, sheer elements of the planet, but also there's so many dangers. You have crate dragons, you have the behemoth that we saw in the last episode, and of course now there's this train that is delivering spice and other type of resources, and it's involved with the crime syndicate. And the race that's actually here that seems to be kind of has this entire hold on this train and probably owns it is the Pikes. They were in Solo, the Star Wars story, and it's so cool too because you have these Easter eggs and these tributes and odes to Kira as well in Crimson Dawn, and there's so many different crime syndicates in Star Wars, which basically Kira has all the control over right now. You have Black Sun, you have the Cremora Syndicate, the Hutt Clan, and the Pike Syndicate. And it's so cool to see them off-world, and you also get to see them with their helmets off, which is crazy, because I actually thought they couldn't even survive with that. But I'll have to check my sources and see whether or not that's still true. But man, it's so incredible to see all this. I really hope Kira's going to be in this, so definitely watch out. Go watch Solo again. Read the Crimson Dawn comics that are out right now. There's so much good stuff in there. But all you need to know, these guys are totally involved with crime and the Underlord, and it's going to be very interesting to see how Boba Fett reacts and interacts with the rest of them and their relationship going forward, because now they're under protection of the Tatooine Tusken Raiders, and the Tusken Raiders are also going to play a huge part in this, and I just can't wait to see how Boba Fett is literally going to take and constrict his grip around the entire Tatooine crime syndicate. Man, it's so cool. I'm not sure if a lot of people are going to get this one, but this is Tashi's station. This was literally created from a deleted scene in the original trilogy, from A New Hope, like the original. And it's so cool because Luke Skywalker and Biggs Darklighter, they all kind of like had this member. This is like their hangout over here on Tatooine. It's such a huge throwback, and I've seen that deleted scene so many times. And you haven't seen it, go check it out because it's kind of an integral part of the original trilogy. And I felt like the Tashi Station deleted scene actually met well and meshed well with the original movie, and I wasn't really sure why they took it out, but go check it out. That is the most throwback of throwbacks for all of Star Wars in the original trilogy. And it's so crazy that Boba Fett literally walks into the same doorway that Luke Skywalker was. Incredible. It's like poetry, baby. It rhymes. This is probably the best part of the episode. So this is by far the most important thing that's happening in this episode, and this is the spiritual rebirth of Boba Fett. You know, everybody wondered why he had such a different look and why he didn't take up his original attire and his original look. And this is why, you know, he's kind of rebuilding his spirit here. It's almost like he's reinventing himself. And I feel like the black and the robes kind of signifies who he is, you know, where his ownership belongs to, essentially. And, you know, you see that with all the Tusken Raiders and the tribes. And they're so passionate, you know, they're an incredible indigenous people that are so it's so fascinating to see. But of course you see the gaffy stick, and this was so personal. It reminds me and resembles so much of a Jedi or Sith creating their lightsaber, and it's so cool how their instructor is there kind of telling Boba Fett, not doing it for him, but he's guiding him on the path to creating his own. And it's so personal. It's not like just some sword that was just made from a standard blacksmith. You know, it's so incredibly intricate and almost like intimate in a sense, where Jedis and Sith, they go out and they find their kyber crystals, you know, because it calls to them. And this essentially is a similar characteristic, basically making his own gaffy stick, and that's what it has. His personality, it has his fierceness, and that is the true beauty of this episode. It's so incredible, and I love it. And anyone that watches this, I feel like, needs to understand what this resembles and the value of this scene. It's really showing you that this is no longer a bounty hunter. This is a man of purpose. This is a man with a higher calling, and it's incredible to see. And I loved this episode. That's all I got for you today, fam. I hope you enjoyed my breakdown. I'm gonna be trying to do this every single day before I go to work. I'm not even sleeping before work. We're trying to get to 10K on the channel for Star Wars, and if you love Star Wars content, fam, I'm giving you all the knowledge. Ready up.